following program is brought to you with limited commercial interruption.
Today's broadcast is being simulcast in broken English.
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world.
Welcome to the show that we're doing right now.
What the hell are we doing on this show?
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Let's go.
What is this?
Giggity, 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 goo.
Who else but
The Q.
it's showtime. Gentlemen, let's get down to business. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah, I can dig it, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Q. You're listening to the best pop culture, current events, current affairs show east or west of that Mississippi River, hailing from the great city of St. Louis and worldwide at theqnow.com. I am your host, Mark Bland, joined today, ladies and gentlemen, by none other than one of my favorite people in the world. Mr. Joanthan May is here. What's going on, Joanthan? Oh, wait, well, hold up. Let's get that mic on there. What's up, Joanthan? How are you?
How am I your favorite and my mic's not even on, man?
It was just a brain fart. Still trying to get into these things. Also, Jason Kull is here.
Yes, I am. He's your favorite.
He's well,
you over there being favorite.
I thought he was gonna say you at first, and he said he was surprising. Yeah.
No. There was no I don't have favoritism.
You literally just said
there's
your
no.
favorite.
I said you are a favorite of my. Yes, you are a favorite.
Right. Let me have that. Don't let Jason take that away.
I'm not saying Jason can take it away from you at all, ladies and gentlemen.
Let him take that away from me. Jeez.
This is craziness. I don't know what else is going. Russia, guys, is telling the Middle East to take the oil production and cut it. We will discuss this impact on the USA. But without any further ado, let's get to the Q. Welcome to 1280 AM at 105.3 FM, KYRO News Radio, KYRO.com, every single Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Unless there is a college football game on, then we will be after that football game. Joanthan May, how is life treating you, sir?
Pretty good, man. I got a short film dropping today, as a matter of fact.
A short film dropping today?
Yeah, 10:15 after the show. Well, 10:15 tonight after the show, but yeah, that should be dope.
10:05.
Yep.
So, okay. All right. Yeah. So, Saturday night tonight.
Right.
10:15.
That's what I said.
Make sure you check that out.
Well, it's going to be, you said monsterfam.com for the link to get to it.
Monsterfam.com.
That's my first plug ever.
Monsterfam.com.
Yep.
And you did it on the Q.
I did it on the Q. First plug ever. So yeah.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. When does your movie drop, Jason?
Well, if you have a premium Pornhub account, you can log in. I am also called Monster Fam.
Okay. Monsterfam.com for yours also. I was forcibly removed from a Walmart earlier today at 3 o'clock. I started my signing of books. And then about 3:15, they came and stopped me. I was mid into a Captain Underpants book or whatever, signing it, Mark Bland, KYRO, putting all the information out there. I signed it, Mark Faust, whatever. I just do my thing. Just do my thing is what I do.
You are fat. You are ugly. You're a terrible mother.
Jesus. Guys, it's been a wild week. One of the things I said on a recent show, Jason, if you remember, was that it's been really difficult to discuss politics at this time period in history.
That is true.
You would think walking in to this grand midterm election of 2022 that we are on the precipice of, literally a month away from.
Yeah.
You would think that we would be getting inundated with all kinds of stories of crazy this conversations and that. And we did. We have Rand Paul deciding that he doesn't want to show up for a debate live on TV. So they just literally filmed the other guy, asked him the questions like a normal human being. He answered all the questions that they asked, even when they dug in a little bit, and then he moved on with life. Rand Paul, I have a theory on this, okay? I want to see where you guys sit with me on this theory here, okay? If you are running for public office and there is a public debate or panel or conversation that you have been asked to be a part of, and this is something that's going to be broadcast out to a plethora of individuals who can elect you and vote for you in the area that you are running for said seat, you should be disqualified if you do not attend any of those functions. So a Rand Paul should be, in my mind, disqualified right now from running for that position and that office immediately.
Right.
Because as a man of the people or a person, your job is to go out there and to talk to the people. You are a representative of the people. To turn your back on same people and act as if their questions don't matter to you, or this debate, press conference, whatever it is that you are supposed to be a part of it. And like I said, I'm talking about events that we all naturally agree on nationwide.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you already agree to be on that?
These are already agreed upon. When I say agreed upon events that we,
like, it's a normal.
No matter
normal
what city or state you live in, these are normal things that we all expect are going to happen when you're running for an office. Whether you're Cory Bush, whether you're Rand Paul, I don't care who you are. If you are running for an office, even mayor, okay, disqualified. Local, state, and national level. Like, I don't care what it is. This is not up for grabs like that. See, when you got the Rand Pauls of the world turning their back and walking away from a debate, what they're saying is, if we win, we will not listen or care what the people say. So if a Donald Trump gets into my head and makes me hang out with Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, and then Ron DeSantis too, and we all get together in 3 different states and start to decide that, well, we're just going to play the Confederacy card. We're going to play the secession card. We're just going to say the United States government doesn't rule our state anymore, and we are no longer a part of that situation. Almost like the USSR breaking up, right? Yeah. Each state almost kind of becomes its own country, and technically that's fine, because for the rest of the world, our country is massive in comparison because we are the 50 states. But if they broke up into 4 or 5 sections with like 3 or 4 states, or even if each state became its own country, that's bigger than a lot of countries around the rest of the world.
I'm moving to California if that happens.
Just Missouri alone.
I probably go to Detroit or something, man. It's not safe for me.
Well, I'm just...
it's the same place for black people.
But you know what? No,
what
Jonathan, speak on that.
Yeah, it's the same place for black people, man. I'm not going to Mississippi. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, not even Florida, you know? Maybe New York. Yeah, I could probably see New York, something like that.
I wouldn't even drive through Mississippi.
I'm going to the same place. Who said? I think it was Roy Woods Jr. that said that when James Brown was singing that song for Rocky, when Living in America, he named all the safe places for black people to go to. And he was like, Detroit, New York City. He named all. He don't care about America. He was telling black people, hey, this is where you should go if you want to be safe.
I feel
Clearwater, Florida.
I feel, right. You know, in the last episode we talked a lot about some music, but I don't mind dipping into some music on this episode. In the case of James Brown, I think James has always come off as an icon and a leader for the black culture. I think that has always been the case from the minute that he showed up on the scene back in the 50s.
Well, he wrote that song.
40s and 50s, actually, all the way till now. Well, not even till today. I'm just saying he still is considered an icon for that. I'm saying up until his death,
you know, he's a legend.
He never, though, didn't feel like the man who would speak primarily to his culture, specifically for the sake of his culture.
You said he never did?
No, I think that he never came off like the guy that wouldn't do that. Like, it always seemed like James is going to put the black culture ahead of all the other cultures on earth simply because that's how James rolled. That's just who he was.
When Martin Luther King got assassinated, he did that free concert to try to calm people down.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is
in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
You know, though, how gutsy, though, in like, I don't know, 60, whatever it was, to write a song, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud,
right,
and put that out, like, that's not too
But
far
I think that was the message of that time period. Like, he's hearing it in the streets. He's hearing it in the hood when he goes home.
Why do you got to live in the hood, bro? You saw the movie, did you? You didn't leave
the
hood.
The hood. Well, first off, number one.
Number one is the hood. What you said? What are you talking about?
Before you go any further,
how many more numbers are there? Don't disappoint me again. I can only take one. Don't give me number 2.
I see where you're going with this. It's always about racism with this guy.
What are you
He doesn't even realize the word hood is a shortened version of the word neighborhood.
Not the way you said. It comes out of your mouth and it just sounds just horrible.
But whether he was anywhere of any of these places, it doesn't matter where he's at.
Right.
Like, the idea was, I'm a man of the people. I'm putting that first and foremost. I'm proud of this. And I'm in these places. I hear this on a day-to-day basis. So if I have influence and a voice, I think that that's one of the most you know what? That's where we fall off. That's where we fell off in the 90s. okay? The 90s was the last time, and you can go down the road of a Pearl Jam or Nirvana, someone like that, but, Pearl Jam probably be a better example of this.
Well, we had Public Enemy.
But that's what I'm saying. In the 90s, this idea of being politically motivated, taking that message, putting it into a song again, right? They did it in the 50s, they did it in the 60s, they did it in the 70s, they did it in the 80s, they did it in the 90s, okay? Yeah. It stops after the 90s. Once we get to the 2000s, I really don't think, don't get me wrong. Sure, guys, I'm sure there's a few songs out there that were politically motivated that are out that we know the name of, but they're nowhere near the level of some of the stuff Pearl Jam and them did in the mid-90s when they were talking about Somalia and the different parts of the world that were the Armenian crisis and all that. It's like the last time that people did war songs.
Well, in the 90s.
Or politically focused
The last one
songs.
I can remember was hip-hop.
Well, outside of punk bands, only two bands I could think of in the 90s is Public Enemy and Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, Rage. Rage would probably be
political.
But Rage would be the end, that's 95 or 94 on, right?
Yeah.
So they're popular
for their first
but by the time they hit 98, they're at the top of the music charts.
Yeah,
and their political message, everyone knows all those songs. That's about it.
What's the last band? And was the Dixie Chicks? Was that the last time somebody?
But their music's not political. They did.
I think actually, you know what? To your defense on that, I think that maybe the aughts was then the ending, because you're right. The Dixie Chicks did have extremely popular music that was mainstream. We know the words to it. They were politically motivated songs, and they won a ton of Grammys off that album alone. So yeah, I'll give the Dixie Chicks credit for that. But past the Dixie Chicks, I don't hear a lot of people. Yeah, you're going to have your patriotic country stars that are going to try to, because they're young and early in their career, they're going to try to do something about America and the painted on blue jeans and the dirt road and the moonlight and the cracked beer. That's it. Sure, they're gonna go through their rigmarole, and in there they're going to say some political things, but beyond that,
and even by the time the 2000s come, U2 is really not political anymore.
Right, but U2 is the late. But that's what I'm saying. Their political stuff is really the late '80s with Joshua Tree and all that. That's their songs about the IRA and Sunday Bloody Sunday and all that. So it's interesting. It's interesting. But to get back to our main point where this all started, guys like Rand Paul, if you're not going to do the debate, right, disqualified.
Yeah, I think that's
Are we cool with this? Can we put this up to a vote? Would this be something that we would be cool with moving forward?
Isn't this a thing the RNC's pushing?
Now, if you have a sickness, listen. If you have a sickness, legitimately, you get sick and you can't get to the debate, I'm not going to hold it against you and say that you can't run for your office because you had a cold or a sinus infection and you just didn't want to get other people sick.
Just make them reschedule.
Reschedule.
Yeah, reschedule.
That's fine. In that case, we'll reschedule the debate. But if you just don't show up, the debate's scheduled, it's time to go. You don't even show up to the door at all.
That's
to
what
walk
I'm
on stage.
Did he just not come?
He just did not come to
was
the.
He said he was going and he just didn't show up.
It was live time on TV. It was ready to rock and roll. They were live on the air, and that desk was empty. He did not show up for the debate.
Isn't that a lot like getting a job and refusing to do any training?
It's like going to a Lauryn Hill concert.
A Lauryn Hill concert?
You never been to a Lauryn Hill concert?
Of course I have.
What time was it supposed to start?
Well, in this case, wait.
What time did it actually start?
To Lauryn Hill's defense, in the situation I saw her in, she was with the Fugees at that time. It was a young Lauryn Hill. Great time to see Lauryn Hill. But I'm just saying, I did see Lauryn Hill in concert. They were there. It was on time because it was part of a group, concert. There was multiple groups on this concert, and they weren't the finale. They were the middle group. So yeah,
I'm talking about her by herself now.
Her by herself now.
Oh yeah.
What's the longest you ever waited for a concert?
I haven't been to too many concerts. Every concert I've been to started on time. I mean, from the very first one.
Evidently not a Lauryn Hill one.
Yeah, except the Lauryn Hill one. One of them she didn't show up. One concert she did, and a couple of them were 3 hours late. And then she comes out, there's 2 songs, and it's I'll see you guys later. Thanks for the money.
To this day, the ones that I've seen them live once. I walked in on a smaller venue. I caught half of the show, so seeing Prince that way was fine.
There you go.
But as far as a stadium show goes, I would never go to a Prince Stadium show. He was notorious for not showing up on time. Madonna, too.
You saw Prince in St. Louis?
No, I saw Prince in Kansas City.
I saw him in St. Louis. Probably the best concert I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Prince's fan. Like, this is what I'm saying. Well, there are some really talented people out there that, you know, people knew their songs. Maybe they did or didn't go to the shows. But at the same point, like, if you ever had a chance to see a Prince show, the guy laid it out on stage.
I do take that back, though. The best concert I ever been to was Miley Cyrus. I went to that concert with my daughter thinking I was going to have a bad time. That was the best concert I have ever witnessed.
I also have said this on the show, but it's been at least a decade since I've even talked about it. I went to, who's the guy? American Woman.
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz. I went to a Lenny Kravitz show, got some tickets for free, went to the decent seats too, that like one of the boxes inside like the seated area over at Riverport.
Right.
Sat down, thought, this is going to be a waste of my time. Okay? This show is going to be a waste of my time. I don't really care for a lot of Lenny Kravitz. This is like 2000, 2001. So it might even predate American Woman being out yet. Like, that'd be around that time. It's getting close. It's getting close. But my point being, this dude put on one of the best shows I've ever seen. That dude worked every piece of that stage he could. He gave everybody their damn money's worth on that show. I was thoroughly impressed, and I would recommend anyone go see Lenny Kravitz after that show for sure. Well, it wasn't even that. And he performed American Woman there, so he had already created the song. I know, or he had already redone the song.
Yeah.
I don't know if it had come out yet or if it was popular or not. But I'm just telling you, this dude laid it out on the stage. The first 3 songs, I was like, this is okay.
I know a lot of people.
And then, boom.
Yeah,
it was like on.
A lot of people said they didn't like his cover of that, but I did. I thought it was cool. I thought they didn't like. I don't know why they didn't like it. No one really told me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break here on KYRO and the Q. When we come back, more with myself, Joanthan May, as well as Jason Kull. We'll be back after this.
American woman, stay away from me. American woman, mama, let me be.
1280 AM KYRO. Mark Bland, News Radio, KYRO.com. This is the Q. I'm sitting here hanging out with my boys Jason Kull, as well as Joanthan May.
Yes, I am in the building.
Little Lenny Kravitz to bring us back.
You know what? If you're on stage playing this song, you're having sex with someone in that crowd that night.
That night, you're having sex.
Someone in that crowd is going,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm having sex with that guy.
So you're basically saying this is a for sure deal.
It's just a cool song. And to be up on the stage playing it, and I mean,
Probably had sex before he even played it. They know he was coming out with it.
Right.
I'm saying, yeah.
It's very possible. You might have even had sex before we even played the song.
Right.
Very possible. The death of the American dream, guys. Let's talk about this for a minute. More than a half of young voters say they will have a worse standard of living than their parents. And the economists warn inflation is set to soar even higher. Now, Jason.
Yes.
Some 32% of adults have paid a bill late in the past 6 months. 61% of them say they just did not have enough money to cover it. Utilities, credit cards, cable television, and internet were the most frequently missed payments. Nearly half of the economists surveyed said inflation was getting worse. 86% of economists said America's economy was tilted toward the downside. And more than half of Americans believe it's unlikely younger people today will have better lives than their parents. 7 in 10 Americans under the age of 30 said home ownership was becoming harder to achieve than ever before. Where do we stand as the more aged generation that the three of us tend to come from? Yeah. We all have kids. We all have houses. A lot like our parents did, correct?
Yeah.
But I don't disagree that we are on a bit of a downward slide. Obviously, currently, inflation is kind of hampering the United States. But we've talked about this before on the show. This comes out of COVID, supply line chain issues that have been plaguing us for now almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And on top of that, not every country is coming back from COVID the same way the other countries are. Now, I would be willing to venture out and say at this point right now, on the queue, sponsored by John Beal Roofing, 1-800-JOHN Beal. Any roofing issues, check it out. I would say right now at this point, there is just no way for us to get out from underneath the boulder that is getting ready to crush us, because OPEC has been now asked by Russia to cut their barrels by 2 million barrels for the production of oil. This is definitely going to become an issue. I've talked many a time here on the Q. These gentlemen have been sitting here when I did it, about the fact that the way that the United States' bargaining chips work is simple. We owe money to someone that we borrowed money from. They might have a service industry like the Middle East does, Iran, Iraq, all those countries, Saudi Arabia. They have oil, and it's a business that supplies food on the table of their families over there. So if we can't pay off a debt that we owe, we make deals on the backside with these foreign companies or these foreign countries and companies and say, listen, in exchange for us not having to pay $6 billion back or $500 million back on this or that, we'll buy so much oil guaranteed from your country. That way, you'll always have money flowing in. It's going to put money on the table, and we'll try to pay down through that method right there at a percentage rate, of course, obviously. But we'll try to pay down and pay back what we can't pay up front immediately. You know what I'm saying? This keeps your people happy. It keeps our people happy. And in most cases, the countries go, okay, good. Mm-hmm. Because people in power want to stay in power. And if the people are happy, right? Jobs are plentiful. They're not worried about money coming in. Things are going fine. They'll go to the polls. They'll live a normal life. They'll do the normal things Rand Paul won't do. They'll just do normal stuff. And one of the normal things they'll do is they'll elect people. And so this keeps those governments happy, keeps the power players in play. When he could ask, because he has an alliance with Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia does not particularly like their relationship with the United States. This is based off of obvious reasons. Come on, guys. We have been over there. The Bees Hive. Joanthan has literally been over there.
Yeah, he's like
as a part of the United States military and seen this stuff with his eyes first and foremost. Okay?
Why don't we just go to Iraq and buy more from them? Why don't we work a deal with them?
Dude, I had guys on Twitter today arguing with me, which this is not.
It's a regular day.
It's a regular day. Good call. Good call, Bear. It's a regular day. And basically, they're all explaining to me what they're paying for their price for a liter, right? So I break it down, and I come to find out for every $3 to $3.50 or $4 or $5, depending on where in the country you're listening to this show right now, and paying for your gas, they're paying basically about 58 cents a liter, which means there's about three liters to a gallon. So you're talking about about $1.50. Between $1.50 and $2 is what they're paying in Saudi Arabia right now for their gas.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that. It's right there. They don't have to travel far. They don't have to do any of the shipping. And I get that. But at the same point, one of their things to also tell me in a lot of these messages was, we can't wait for the American scum to die.
Well, that's not very nice.
It wasn't very nice. But if that's the sentiment of people that are just discussing the price of their gas in a conversation with me, and I'm telling you, these people came out of nowhere to just say, I can't wait for America to fail and die. Okay? Like out of nowhere. They weren't even a part of the conversation I was having with someone else. They chime in out of the side, just out of nowhere. Maybe they're bots, maybe they're not. I don't know. What I do know is that it came out of nowhere, and it was the minute I saw it and read it, it mentally just sat with me immediately. They're friends with Putin. They'll do this. They'll cut their production. They'll claim it's to save themselves. It's really not to save anybody. They should be wanting to make money. And unless Putin is going to make up for the 200 barrels that they're going to shut off, and the money that they would get from that, I don't know why they would do it unless they were going to form an alliance to start creating what I would consider drama in the world for everybody.
That's very well.
That's what I feel is getting ready to happen.
That makes sense.
If I'm Biden, I just tell him, fine, whatever, do that. But have fun protecting yourself from the bad actors without our weaponry that we sell you on a yearly basis.
Well, not only that, Jay, but it's this idea that they don't understand. Like the rest of the world, they brought up China, how America could get destroyed by China. I said, how? How would America get destroyed by China? Let me explain. Over 50% of their population lives below our homeless people's poverty line. Below our homeless people's poverty. That's our homeless. That we look down on and we go, you're homeless.
Yeah, when people...
you're below that poverty line and they keep you there through control. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, when people think of China, they think of what... like the city scenes from movies, or they don't go show
Tiananmen
the
Square.
rural
They don't.
areas
Yeah, they don't think
China.
They don't understand. We're talking billions of people.
1890.
Billions of people, but they live like Okinawa in a Karate Kid movie, out by the water, fishing all the time by rice paddies and living their life. But by the way, just to let you know, American. You know how your city has 50,000 people in it, but it's like a regular city, like a radio station with these 3 people here doing this, and then somebody's at the Taco Bell running it over there along with their team. And like, no. They have 200,000 people, which is 4 times how many you have in your town. And they're in the middle of the woods, just all spread out around the rice paddies and everything. I'm just telling you about.
In an area much smaller than your
And
town.
they're living in a mud hut. They're not living in a house, or they do have a very small, like, closeted house. Almost like when I was in Jamaica and I saw some of the shack housing they have along the roads. And I mean, it is literally a shack that you would probably hang up gardening tools in most cases if you didn't live in it.
And if you have money,
and that's not a knock on people that live in those. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, size-wise, that's what I'm saying.
But if you have money, what we would consider middle class, they're middle class. You're living in a 185-story building, and there's 50 of them in your city. Like, they live up, not out.
Yeah, they live up.
Exactly.
That's another thing I'll say. Yeah, I mean, on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like, crazy.
So when half of your people live below the poverty line and they're controlled by a dictatorial government, if they see that there is an out and a path to democracy, the idea that they could just be free living in their country, as long as they know there's enough firepower, and by the way, don't you worry your pretty little hearts around the world, okay? We got some real badass weaponry. Just like that Top Gun movie. We've got those 5th generation jets.
Great movie, by the way.
We have those 5th generation jets.
We've got super duper missiles.
We got super duper uber missiles that we get. We have the Moabs.
If you don't believe, just go down to Mar-a-Lago. Trump show you. He's got a file in his desk.
Declassified.
There you go. Hey, guess what? Let's shoot some golf.
Declassified.
Look at some declassified stuff.
Hang on, wait. There you go.
There
now
it
you can have
is.
it.
Yeah, now you can have it. You got to wave your hands over
right.
it. But my point is simply this. Yes, there are countries out there with a lot of people. And that's what has always blown my mind about a dictatorial town or state or region or country, that some of these places are buried around. Because if you got 200,000 people and you just decided to run up on the Kremlin right now, 200,000 deep, you would not only bust into their Capitol building on January 6th, okay? You would bust into their building. You'd probably find Putin, and you'd probably have enough people because, yeah, their guns will work to knock down about 15 to 20 people each, but then what about the 199,000 of them behind those people rushing you all at the same time with your gun that's running out of ammo? You have no time to change it. Because now 100,000 people are literally 5 feet from you.
Look what they're doing in Iran.
Like, you don't understand. I don't get why these countries the people don't just get together and go, F it, let's go.
Yeah. I want a Taco Bell. I'm sick of
That's
this.
us, though. That's what we did. We were just like, oh, you want to fight? Cool.
Yeah.
Went and grabbed our guns off our mantles and was like, let's do this. Yeah. And literally had no army.
They have better guns than
had no army. This is the Revolutionary War. They had some coats that they would wear for the winter. Yeah. That was their army uniform. Whatever they would wear anyway, that was it. Like, it was go time. It's the south side of Chicago, like all you conservatives constantly want to bring up. It's go time.
Yeah, we're gonna need them.
Pull your Glock out. Let's roll. Like, this is not up for discussion. And by the way, I'll still be shooting at you while you're trying to reload, just like in real life. So let's keep the real life going. I'm telling you, people, the rest of this world doesn't understand what we really do have in firepower. So I take that firepower. I mean, I could decimate some major cities with my warships alone. With my Navy alone, I could pull up to Singapore and a bunch of places that they have allies around those areas too. Do you guys not realize we have literally bases everywhere in the world?
That's what you worry about, though. That's what I always tell people.
Bases everywhere in the world.
Bases getting overrun where they are. You look at Korea,
now they
North
could.
Korea, and South Korea. Man, if the war popped out with North Korea, South Korea would be a blanket. They would flatten it down.
Well, I
they
feel
don't care
like
about the people over there, or anything like that.
I feel what happened immediately with South Korea is Japan would come to their aid with their Air Force at least, and I think that would be Japan and South Korea against North Korea because that's just a thorn in Japan's side for many years. We talked about the wrestling show, right? The one that ended up over there, and they were like, listen, they couldn't even believe that there was going to be a show with Japanese people on it in Korea at all because they hate them. That's my point. Like, I feel like there's and we have bases everywhere, right? We got bases in the Philippines. We got a Philippine base.
You know, speaking of that guy.
And Duarte, that's the guy you're talking about. He's nuts.
Yeah.
He's a dictator.
No, that show that you mentioned, that guy died after we talked about that show.
Oh, Antonio Inoki, yes. Yeah. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Great professional wrestler, a legend in the business, somebody I really respected. But, hey, guys, it's about time for us to get to a break here. I want to thank our sponsor, John Beal Roofing. John Beal came to work with us here on the Q many years ago, and recently they reached back out, and we got to talking, and they want to help you. That's what they want to do. They want to help you with roofing issues. And as we're walking into this winter season, that means we're going to start having ice. We're going to start having snow. We're going to start having rain more often, right? Summer's over. Is your roof leaking? Does it need help? Maybe it needs a roof doctor. One of the John Beal specialists. Why don't you get over and pull that phone out? Dial up 1-800-JOHN-BEAL, JOHNBEAL. That's 1-800-JOHN-BEAL. They can do siding. They can do gutters. They can do all kinds of work you don't even realize. Give them a call. If you just have some work that needs to be done on your house, they will be the ones to step up. We're going to take a quick break here on KYRO. When we come back, more with myself as well as Jason and our friend Joanthan after this. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday afternoons don't get any hotter on the blowtorch of the Midwest. 1280 AM, 105.3 FM, KYRO. Mark Bland, Joanthan May, Jason Kull, coming at you guys. Got some Living in America, some James Brown. You okay, Jay? You're not sure?
I wasn't sure if I heard you.
You couldn't tell if you could hear me. Is it that bad for you over there?
Good now.
Do I need to change it out for you?
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Q. I've got a couple things I want to talk about.
Oh, really? That's a surprise.
Surprise. We've got a MMWA show coming up tonight. That's right, at the South Broadway Athletic Club. Nightmare on 7th Street. A coffin match for the championship. That's right. The Brotherhood puts up one of their best against Ben Trust for the heavyweight title in a coffin match.
Nice.
In a coffin match. So there is coffins surrounding the ring, just like an Undertaker match.
Right.
And I am the assistant commissioner. Hopefully, in just a little bit here on the show, we're going to have Anthony Castaldi, the head of MMWA, the leader, the promoter of the organization and the company, joining us here on the Q just to talk a little bit and to promote that show. But that's tonight. Doors open at 7 p.m. You can go look that up, Google it, MMWA Wrestling. You can find out all the information there, but it's tonight at the South Broadway Athletic Club, downtown St. Louis on 7th Street. You can't miss it. I'm going to be there. You're going to be there. Everybody's going to have a little bit of fun. I also have something else special coming up here in just a little bit that I want to talk to you guys about. I've decided, remember, each show this Halloween season, we're going to do something that's going to be geared towards that, right? I've got basically a tournament of pop culture of candies. Favorite candies that we are going to break down, and we're going to decide what candy is going to be the candy of 2022 for that special time of the year that we call Halloween. The special time of the year that Jason is willing to go to a haunted house with me, and that somebody else is too scared because
I
they're weak.
agreed to that last time we three were together.
You said,
I agreed to that. I said I'll do it.
You'll do it.
I said I'll do it.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. I said I'll do it.
I've got to
We'll
get this
go to
worked
haunted
out.
house.
I've got to get this worked out somehow,
I want to see
man.
a real ghost.
No,
I don't know. Not a real
Real
ghost.
one.
See, this is when
we
I
can
start to
talk
back
to
out.
him.
Why would he say a real? What do you want to say to a ghost?
How did you die?
Go read a book. What are you talking about?
Well,
The
not
newspaper
every
clipping
ghost is
itself.
famous.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Jonathan, if you could talk to a ghost, let's say just a ghost from the past showed up, would your question that you have for that ghost be more geared based off of who it was that showed up? Or would your question be more based on the idea that they're a ghost and wanting to know that aspect, the more generalized aspect of them?
It'd be based on the idea that they're ghosts. I would have known one question.
And what's that question?
Can you have sex?
That's all you want to know.
That's all I want to know.
You're like, listen, I don't even
they
want to know
answered
if there's
that
a
question.
process for me to get to the sex in the afterlife. He's just like, listen, can you do it there? Because if you can, I'm planning on being there, but I don't know if I can get in.
The first season of American Horror Story answered that question. You can, because they did.
You know, I like that show, but I only like
that season.
certain seasons.
Yeah.
I got friends of mine that are just huge American Horror Story fans. I liked 1984. I liked the Freaks one or the Carnival one.
Carnival
That
one.
was okay. That was not bad. But like, I got really bored with like the Coven Witches one, even though a lot of people say that's their favorite one that they ever watch. I just didn't care. Like, you know, each one's a different theme each year. So,
Now-
what was the first season? Was a mental asylum or a haunted?
yeah.
It was a haunted house.
It was a house, yeah.
It was a legitimate haunted house.
Whatever. Now I have been
The
watching
Murder House,
new one.
right?
Murder House, yeah.
I've watched the new one, then the anthology that they have out now.
Yeah, the
Have you
Murder
seen
House
it?
comes back.
Every
I have not seen the anthology one.
Every episode is different. It's a different story every episode.
Did you know that they brought back out Creep Show?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the old Creep
I've
Show,
watched a
and it
couple
was
of them.
on Shudder,
Yep.
and actually it wasn't bad. It was
wasn't bad.
actually
I watched a
really,
couple of
really
them.
good.
Yep.
There's only one movie that I'm really geeked for right now, this like October Halloween season that's getting ready to come out.
What's it?
It's VHS 94,
I
99.
love those movies. I love those movies.
The
They're
newest,
amazing.
The last one was called Viral. The newest one's like 98, 99, or 94, something like that. I could figure it out. Jason can look it up. He's got he's got his Google machines in his pocket all
Is it
the
going
time.
digital or is it coming theater?
This, I'm not sure.
They've always been digital, though, right? It's
Well,
almost-
then we're in that weird time period coming out of COVID now, this last 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, some
kind
do,
of,
some
like
don't.
I said, the rest of the world and us kind of all seem to have moved on from the COVID aspect. We're not focused on it. Like, we know every year around this time we're going to start getting sick and colds and because of the colder weather and all that. Right. So we know we're going to pay attention to it, but it's now becoming more like the flu.
Right.
In the way that we pay attention to it. It's not the flu. It's way worse than the flu. But at the same point, or for some people, just depends. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
My point being, coming back to theaters, like Top Gun was like the first real movie that I felt people went back to the theaters to watch.
Yeah,
and that was earlier this year. I know other movies have been in the theaters for the last year.
Yeah, Top Gun was the one. I mean,
But that was the one I
still
felt
in theaters.
people went to, and they were like, okay, I'm done with the whole COVID thing in the movie theaters. I'm ready to go back into normal society. I'll sit with 300 people and watch Tom Cruise and John Hamm do an awesome job. And I'm cool with that. That's why I don't know if it's digital or if it's going to the theaters or not. Because I think we're at that point
VHS
where
has never been in
those
theater.
lower end movies, right? Those B-style movies, which is kind of what VHS always came off. Listen, if you guys want to see some really good horror stories, check out VHS 1. The first VHS movie. The second one was probably my favorite. I like the second one way more than any of the other
was
movies.
the first one when they found them, when the kid found the tapes in the house?
That's the second
That's
one.
the second
That's where
one,
he's
yeah,
sitting
yeah,
there
yeah.
watching the
Sitting there
TV
watching
over to
over,
the.
yeah, right.
That's
right,
the
right.
second one, if I'm correct. I love how they like have that underlying theme though, going throughout it. Because in Viral, did you see Viral?
Yeah.
That's the one where it was all the cell phone text messages and the social media, and he was riding the bike and he was getting chased down. Right. Loved that aspect. You know what I'm saying? I just love the fact that they tie these things all together. So I'm really excited to see VHS. Any movies coming out you're excited to see, Jonthan? What do you got for me?
Well, you can see it October 20th. It'll be online.
So it's a digital release.
Well, it's both. It's in the theaters now.
Oh, okay. So you can go to theaters now.
But the online date is the 20th.
All right.
So then you could probably buy it.
So I'm down. Maybe you come on over to my house. We're going to watch that together.
And
I want to see that.
It is called 99, VHS 99.
It's 99. Okay. I knew it was like one of the years, but.
Did you ever watch the ABCs of Death? Same mind frame?
Yeah. I liked ABC's of Death. The problem I have with ABC's of Death is what was cool about the first VHS is, yes, they had I think, Taiki Waititi or whatever his name is, that guy. I think he's actually one of the directors of one of the first pieces of VHS 1. Oh, I think he's one of the directors. If it's not him, it's the other guy who's famous with a weird name similar to that does horror movies right now. That I sometimes like, sometimes I don't. But anyway, they had a lot of foreign directors. But what I liked about it in the VHS series was the foreign directors tended to not do stuff. They filmed in their lands. They filmed with people from their lands, but they kind of went more mainstream with their dialogue. They were a little bit more English based. There wasn't any real subtitling going on throughout those movies because it was more like a mainstream release. The ABCs of Death, though, different story. It's the same idea, anthology, except for in this anthology, they're just taking directors from all over the world. And it doesn't matter if they're Russian. It doesn't matter if they're, they could be Russian, a Chechen, a Swiss director, one American director, 3 Japanese directors, 4 Koreans. And by the way, everything's going to be something you have to read. You have no choice. There's going to be no subtitling the dialogue verbally or anything like that. Anyway,
you asked what movie I was looking forward to see. I mean, it's 2. I mean, the first one is going to be Black Adam. Just want to see what they do.
You want to see Black Adam because The Rock gets you hard. I get it. The Rock gets you happy.
Well,
it's cool.
We're going to talk about my glizzies around here. We're going to talk about glizzies. And Black Panther 2.
You have a hot dog? Got hot dogs?
Yeah, the glizzies. Anyway, Black Panther 2. I got to see that one. That's going to be amazing.
Everybody was like, I want to see Emancipation. I said, okay.
That's going to be a good movie.
Probably will.
I mean, it's going to be a good watch at home, too, because it's coming out on Apple Plus.
Netflix.
My thing is, I'm just kind of...
Apple TV.
Apple.
Yeah, Apple
guys,
TV.
all right, okay. We did talk about, at the time that it happened, the Will Smith slap. And I went on record at the time and said, listen, I thought it was extremely disrespectful what he did. I don't think that he should be allotted the praises that he gets currently. I think that he should be knocked down a peg for that because I think that was really disrespectful, especially within your own profession and specifically on a night where your profession is under a microscope for the whole world to see, like the Super Bowl of movie acting. Okay. Yeah. So I really am not cool with Will Smith in that case. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I don't like Will Smith movies. I like Bad Boys. Yeah. I like Will Smith movies. What was the one with the alien?
Men in Black.
No, Independence Day. Loved Independence Day.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. I'm not going to sit there and say Will Smith can't act. I saw King Richard. It was great.
Yeah, but you're allowed to get fired from a job and get another job and excel at that job. You know what I'm saying? How many cops shoot somebody in one district and like, oh, you're fired from out here, but they get a job around the corner in a different one and they excel. You know what I'm saying?
That North County Co-op. I got you. I see what you're saying, bro.
What are you talking about? You know, I think that's something that Will Smith and Chris Rock need to talk about from now. That should be. I don't even think anybody's even talking about that anymore. Like, they need to handle that.
Oh, no. My point of bringing it up was I just am not excited or eager to see a Will Smith movie anymore. Like, unless something like a Bad Boys 3, something that piques my nostalgic interests.
Well, this was based off a true story, off a picture that you've seen millions of times about the slave that, got to the North to fight for him. They took a picture of him in the medical cap and all those scars on his back.
Exactly.
That's the famous picture that everybody remembers,
I like I said, I would probably go out and see Black Adam or Black Panther 2 before I would go see Emancipation. I'm not knocking Emancipation. Did you ever see 12 Years a Slave?
Yes.
Did you ever see 12 Years a Slave?
Yeah, I watched it.
What did you think? Be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm tired of slave movies.
Well, no. It's not
You
like
asked me to be honest. It's about, no.
It's not like they put out a bunch of slave movies all the time. That was
What
like
are
the
you
first
talking
time in a long.
I'm tired of black struggle movies. I'm tired of. They even had some new stuff on Amazon about an old black couple in the 60s or 70s that moved into a neighborhood, and the white people are giving them a problem. Like, I'm tired of the trauma movies. Like, bro, I want to see something else. I want to. Hey, can we do?
You want
Top
more
Gun?
John Q?
I want a John Q. I want a John Wick black. I actually want to make movies black. I want to do a Hangover with a black crew. I want to do a Top Gun with a black crew.
There are already black directors who are black, who grew up black just like you, and that are doing that specifically.
No, I'm talking about. I just said genre. I think that would be hilarious, and I could just put my name on it, and I call it Blacked. That might be
You would just call it Blacked, and it would be about what?
So I take a movie and I put the black twist on it. So
That's
you got the
already a
Hangover, but it's black characters. I take like Top Gun, make it black characters. I take Titanic, make it black characters.
Isn't this what
That
Medea
is a
does
great
already?
thing. That
This is
great
Medea.
thing.
This is Medea already. It's like, oh wait, Hubie Halloween with Adam Sandler. It's Boo Medea. It's like,
no.
That's
Totally different. That's totally different.
Oh, is that a movie? Is that a movie
Boo
with
Medea
Chris?
was a money
wait,
grab.
Is that a movie about Chris Rock at a funeral having issues with his family? Hold up. Here's the Medea movie at the funeral for her best
No,
friend.
that movie was definitely not a Medea movie with Chris Rock. That was actually a remake of a movie.
No. I said that was the movie, and then he would turn around and remake it as a Medea thing.
Oh my
And then
god!
Medea shows up and it gets all crazy.
If there was
She's so
one
sassy.
movie, okay, straight up. If there was one movie right now, historically, at all, that you're like, I want to do that movie all black. Everybody's like directors, everything. I want to redo it, but I want to do that one with an all black cast. And you can have whoever you want. You could have Denzel for the roles if you want, and his son if you want. You could have both. Like, you could do whatever you want, but what movie would you do, and how would you kind of go about it? Like, where would you put that?
Goodfellas.
You do Goodfellas.
I'm gonna do Goodfellas black.
But wasn't that that was the one where Jay-Z did American Gangster?
What? No,
That's just Goodfellas Black.
That's not. No, it's not.
That's just
That's a
Goodfellas
real guy.
Black.
No, that's right. Frank White. That was a real story right
Yeah.
They
there.
were both real stories.
Well, yeah.
Goodfellas.
This
come on.
is the black version of the gangster story, and the underworld.
If you
This
just,
is the
if
white
you just
version.
want to be right, just say that. Just be like, I want to be right. Don't ask me a question and be like, well, you ask me a question, I give my opinion. That's what happens.
Okay,
That's a great answer, Jonathan. Now I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
now to your defense, Jonathan. Jonathan, to your defense.
What are you doing over here?
To your defense, you're 100% right. I did ask you. You could make any movie
Right.
with the actors.
And
So
you
you want to do
jumped
Goodfellas? Who would you star? Like who? Just give me a couple names. We're getting ready to hit the break here.
I'm doing Ray Liotta's part. That's me. You know.
You're going to do Ray Liotta's part.
Denzel's got to be De Niro. Who can I get crazy to play?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
You could-
Kevin
Out of the same
Hart.
size
Oh,
as
Joe
Joe
Pesci.
Pesci.
Wait. I got another one too.
Joe Pesci.
You could get John David Washington. You know who he could play? Spider. Who shoots him in the foot on that?
Spider's got to be smaller.
But
Spider's gotta be
no,
like,
but it's John David. He's really good at acting like foolish, like Ricky Jarrett on like Baller stuff. So you could have him be the goofy dude.
No, he would need a bigger role.
Why not? He's going to try to tap into the radio aspect of his life. You know, he's going to try to be like radio. He's going to kind of go a little dumb with it.
Again,
He's
the type of movies that I hate.
Okay, fair enough.
Get James Earl Jones to be one of those old gangsters.
James Earl Jones is done. He even sold his voice. So that's over
Well, he could just
to
sit there.
Disney.
He could just sit there.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break here on the Q Blacked. The Q Blacked with Jonathan May.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hopefully that's a wrap when we get back.
Hosted by Jonathan May, of course.
Hopefully that's a
ladies
wrap
and
when we
gentlemen.
get back. Y'all have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.
We obviously are going to be talking a little bit about the candy coming up here, so stay tuned for that. We'll be back on the Q, sponsored by John Beal, right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Q. Of course, I am your host, Mark Bland, joined today with Jonathan May, as well as everybody else. Jason Kull, that's you.
And everybody else.
Please stop that music, jeez.
That music,
I know,
you don't like that?
Jonathan's
I had to
blown
bring it back with a little Halloween style music.
Coming
You
in
know what
the
I'm saying?
headphones and stuff, man, it's horrible.
Were you scared or something, Jonathan?
I'm not having a nightmare now because of that, because it's gonna be stuck in the back of my head and I'm be sleeping, running from Michael Myers.
You're going to be sleeping, running from Michael
Hey, you want to hear
Myers?
something funny? You want to hear something funny?
Yeah, I want to hear something very funny.
Me
if
and,
I
wife
can.
me and the wife in the she gonna kill me for saying this though. Me and wife in the bed the other day, 2:30 a.m. in the morning. She pops up out the bed, walks over to the dresser. I'm like, what's going on? She takes out the deodorant and rubs it under her arms and lays back down. I said, ma'am, no, you should go to sleep after that. I've seen movies of people running from Freddy in their dreams. Not one of them ever got up and put deodorant on. What were you doing in your sleep? What happened?
She was working out with Freddie.
She was running and doing something. What makes you wake up like,
she might have been just handling business is what she was doing.
Stairs.
What makes you wake up and be like, I'm putting this deodorant on? I have no idea.
Maybe she's having like a dream where like she's going to work and she doesn't have deodorant on.
I don't know.
You know?
When she's getting ready to go back to work when she went to sleep?
Like those annoying
She don't
dreams
care.
where you're trying to do
It's not
something.
a big deal to her.
Like, have you ever tried to do something like super normal in everyday life, and in your dream you just can't?
Oh,
You're like those people in infomercials that like can't take spaghetti from the stove to the sink without dropping it.
I've got to the
throwing it
point.
everywhere.
I got to the point. I'm so old. My nightmares are going to work, and I get up and go to work. Like, oh my god, I just wasted a night.
I really don't have nightmares.
The reason I brought us back with the Halloween music is because we've been talking on this show the entire time about how there's just been weirdness abound, right? In the world of, I don't know how to explain this properly. Politics, weirdness. We talked about Rand Paul walking off the stage earlier, right? Herschel Walker insists that he still loves his son despite the video rant calling him a liar. And he says the left is doing anything they can to hurt his Senate bid. That's right. Herschel Walker, 60 years old, said that he loved his son unconditionally. After a video rant earlier, Christian Walker, 22, publicly disowned him over abortion claims. But the Republican Senate candidate said his father is always there for him. Walker faces accusation of hypocrisy over the claim that he paid for a 2009 abortion. He has called for the total ban on procedure as he campaigns in Georgia. The left will do whatever they can to win the seat, he told Fox News. Okay, guys, I have got to know in this situation here, okay? Herschel Walker has set himself up horribly. He has set himself up horribly. This is a man who has prided himself on his relationship to Donald Trump. He has gone out of his way to claim a Christian living and life over the years. He has been anti-abortion for many of these years. He has press conferences, conversations. Obviously, he goes off rambling in the wrong direction quite often. We've noticed that happens a lot with our boy. So here's the situation. What do I do? Where's Herschel Walker at now in the minds of us? Because currently he is in a state that we know in the bottom of our hearts, they can't wait to find a reason to just elect him anyway.
Yeah, he's still polling close, even after this.
This is my point. Like I said earlier, eventually these governors start talking to each other. They start wanting to secede. They start getting these weird ideas in their head. And it's people like Herschel Walker, who is obviously a two-faced individual that will say one thing over here and do the exact opposite over here. Okay? These are the kind of people that they are biting into, clamping down, whatever they can do to dig their claws in. And they want them on their side because they know the people will just follow anyway. I am lost. I am lost when it comes to the Herschel Walker.
It boggles me how he got to the point to where he is. I get it with the help of Trump, but man, every time he talks, it's just like he thinks he's at a conference right after.
We got Herschel Walker. We've got Kanye West walking around in a White Lives Matter shirt on purpose.
I think they're twins. I think they were born together.
I don't know what it was about. See, that's the problem, Jason. We don't. Kanye's a complete.
He came
enigma.
out and said Black Lives Matter was a lie. He came out and said that on his Twitter, and this is why he's doing it. It's like he's stupid. He's in pictures with Candace Owen.
Yeah, I'm going to say something super controversial right now. Everybody's life matters. Everyone's.
That's not
I don't care who you are.
Controversial.
I don't care who you are.
It does.
That's not controversial. Everybody knows that. When Black Lives Matter came out, it never said everybody's life doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It was the point of the time that, hey, Black Lives Matters. Let's stop doing what's going on with us right now in the streets.
Exactly.
But then you had people coming in like, well, my life matters too. Well, nobody said it did. Oh man.
That's it.
Oh my goodness.
We are done.
What?
Man.
This is terrible.
Live on the air. I got passionate.
Wow.
I got passionate.
Just yelling
about,
into our ears.
I got passionate about
He got really
what I was
passionate
saying
about Herschel Walker and how he wanted to touch him in the wrong way.
I hope I do not
weird.
get fined by the FCC.
Suddenly now, or
Oh my
man.
God! I just don't know what to
Where's the
do.
jar? Where do I put my quarter at?
With
Where's
these
the jar at?
professional broadcasts?
Oh, my
Supposed.
goodness.
Hold on.
Yeah,
he
you've done
hasn't
this
learned that we
before.
could just turn his mic off. We don't need that kind of anger in our life.
I got passionate.
We don't need that kind of
Man.
anger in our life.
Oh my goodness.
I understand that.
But no, I understand exactly where Jonathan's coming from. I famously said on this show that it's not that, like you said, all lives didn't matter. It's that by saying that in this moment at this exact time, you're trying to take the focus away from this specific topic that we are trying to talk about. And it looks disingenuous. It looks like you lack character when you do that at that moment. And I get that. I totally understand that. But it seems like that there are extremely popular icons, like a Kanye West, that are sold completely on this idea. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to listen. I've come on this show. Joanthan and me have gotten into a million arguments on this show. I've made the claims on this show. Hey, today, 2022 is not as bad as it was in 1865 for a single black person in the entire United States of America.
We've had a lot of arguments
there's
about that.
There's a lot of problems, a lot of issues, but generally we've had a lot of arguments about it. But this right here, this Herschel Walker, Kanye West, these individuals, this is starting to become odd. It's starting to feel weird. It's not even I don't want to support a Kanye. It's literally, hey, man, I just don't want to have to deal. Listen, guys, I host a show on a Fox radio station. I'm not trying to talk a lot of politics outside of my job. I don't have a problem talking to a family member or Jason or Joanthan about politics, and we do. Off the air, we talk about politics behind the scenes and stuff like that. But I don't live my life this way. And Kanye, it's like, are you bored? Do you got nothing going on? Is it constant? Like, I've got to, do you guys know who Hassan Minhaj is?
I do not.
He hosts a show called The Patriot Act. It's on Netflix. You can watch it. And he's a comedian.
Yes.
And he's pretty popular. And he got viral a few years ago for some stuff with Saudi Arabia. And he met with MSB, their president or whatever, supreme leader. The super duper leader. He's a super duper leader is
like
what
our
he is.
missiles.
Yeah, like our missiles. He's super duper. And but anyway, Hassan Minhaj, he literally did this comedy special that just came out on Netflix, and he's talking about that time period in his life, and he does like 20 minutes on this. And in this, he basically plays like he's Schmeigel or whatever his name with the rings, right? And it's like when he starts to get fame and viralness and popularity, he changes his voice. And he's like, oh, yes, bring me the fame. Bring me the likes. Look at the likes here. Yes. Like he starts to act that way. But throughout his storytelling of these viral moments and this stuff, he kind of hits on why it's an issue, which is he got so viral that some fans sent mail and there was a powdered substance in it. And he just ripped the end of it open with his baby in their basket or whatever, like the stroller, right? He ripped the paper open and all of a sudden powder starts flying everywhere and landed on his daughter.
Yeesh.
He had absolutely no idea what this powder was. He didn't know if it was going to kill her or hurt her or what. Took her to the emergency room. His wife had to find out that he, against her wishes, went to go meet with the Saudi prince. Like, it was a pretty interesting story. But in the end, it's like, how far do you need a like before it will literally start to, I feel like Kanye is in this situation right now where he's going through a really nasty breakup with his wife.
Publicly, too.
Publicly. And he was taking shots at Pete Davidson because she was dating him, but she's not helping. She's putting business out there in the public herself. Yeah. Her sisters are. It's not like Kanye is the be-all and end-all of this, an antithesis of this situation. But where's the benefit? How does this benefit Chicago or Northwest or any of the children? Like, how does this benefit anyone?
It definitely doesn't benefit
and
him.
Hassan Minaj makes a great point. Like, this is why it didn't benefit me.
Well, like, he's fighting her with what she does. It would be like her writing rap songs to come after him. That would be dumb because that's what he does. But this doing nothing but being an online personality, that's what she is.
I feel
she's
like
an empty person.
I feel like Kanye and Herschel, they're just delusional. I think they've got to a certain point in life. They've done a lot of things. They've done great things. They got to a certain point, but they don't see. They're so delusional with the fame and the popularity that they have that they don't. They feel like they don't see color, and they get mad when somebody else does. You know what I'm saying? They have a disconnect in their head where they feel like, well, this is the right way, and these people like me, they should follow me. So
almost
I'm
like
going
Antonio
to do
Brown taking his shirt off mid-game and jumping up and down in the end zone and being
that
nuts.
boy,
and
he was in the pool flashing his penis the other day. You know, it's crazy.
At the pool?
At the pool.
Are these all three the same person?
Delusional. I mean, when you have everything you ever want in life, you got money that you could just burn and not care about it. You know, you're either going to do one of two things. You're going to become a philanthropist. You're going to help people, or you're going to lose your freaking mind.
Who's the white version of this? Like, I'm trying to feel like it's outside of Trump politically.
Elon Musk.
Like
Elon Musk.
You think it's Elon Musk? You think he's the one who would be sitting in like a hot tub and just show himself off?
He has a huge disconnect.
But you know what?
Okay.
To the for Antonio Brown and Herschel Walker, their former occupation has a lot to do with.
Yeah, I feel like, and
do.
that's important that you brought that up. Like, we didn't touch on that quite yet, but there is, I feel, a CTE aspect of this.
There's got to be.
There really is. There's a CTE aspect of this, and
I mean, Antonio Brown just may be a little messed up. But Herschel Walker, 100%. He's not dealing with the full.
I don't know. I got to go back and look at tape. I want to see him do a speech.
If he wasn't
wasn't
such a bad person, I would feel so sorry for him because it's so embarrassing.
Just a
when he
horrible
talks.
person. You have receipts of women that you paid for the abortion, then send her a check and a get well card, and sign it.
Sign a get well card,
and you only like, no, that wasn't me.
Okay, let's say we detour.
How was it not you, bro?
Right. Well, let's say the Republicans are like, well, let's detour around that. Okay, now we're down. Put a gun to your ex-wife's head avenue.
Right.
You know, like okay, detour from that. Now we're. I mean, he's just a bad guy.
Man.
I feel like it's Trump again. Like, I know that everybody online likes to go, oh, you got TDS or whatever it is.
We do.
They got this thing, and then all of a sudden it's like every single weird issue in the world today, outside of COVID, which only made things even more weird, okay? Everything stems from 2016 and after. Nothing is from 2015 or 14, 13, 12, like nothing going back to 01, 97, like 84. Like, it doesn't matter how far I go back. I don't remember us having within the people and the citizens of our country such a disconnect, as you said. Right. After Trump, that's where I see all the disconnect happened. It's like, where were all these people at, and why were they just watching YouTube videos to doomsday prep? Well, like, I don't know.
It's chaos. It's the chaos. Trump is chaos. I mean, look at what made him ultra popular is that show, The Apprentice. That's a chaos show. It's filled with firings and they do jobs and none of them can do it right because they're all dumb and he's yelling at people. Like, it's a chaos show. That's what he is. Look at his whole life is chaos.
I mean, look at Herschel and Kanye. Things like this didn't start happening until they actually met with Trump. Let's just be honest about it. Kanye.
Right. Kanye was fine until the meeting with Trump.
Look at Kanye before Trump. George Bush doesn't care about black people. Yeah, you know what? Kanye might be right. Yeah. Kanye jumps on stage, gets the mic from Taylor Swift. You know what? You got a Hennessy bottle in your hand, too. Yeah, you were drunk. But now it's like, bro, you're sober.
And
you met this man and your whole life turned around.
So then I got one question for you before we hit this break, Joanthan.
What?
In the eyes of a person from black culture, in yourself, now that you have all these years that have passed, you've gotten to see all these aspects of Kanye West, right?
Right.
The original was him stepping out on stage next to Mike Myers and saying George Bush doesn't like black people.
Doesn't care about black people.
Right. Now that you've seen all these other shenanigans happen over the years, how does that stack up and look now alongside of all of this and all of this other craziness? It almost seems like, he was saying wild things then, he's saying wild things now. So, like, I guess I don't really believe George Bush hates black people.
It's funny to the point that it hurts. When you posted the picture of Kanye West in the shirt that said White Lives Matter, I looked at it, and I'm not even lying. The first thing that came in my mouth was, Kanye West doesn't care about black people. And I just closed my phone and just walked away. I'm like,
there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a quick break here on KYRO. Make sure you check out John Beal. That's right, johnbealroofing.com. That's their website. Or you can go to 1-800-JOHN-BEAL, JOHNBEAL. They are a sponsor here on The Q. And if you have any roofing issues, we want you to make sure you check them out. We're going to take a quick break here on The Q. When we come back, more with us. See you in a bit. Oh, we're going to talk about candy, too. It's going to be delicious. Oh, my God. Can't wait.
Your money.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 1280 AM KYRO.
A millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian hair.
Oh, yeah, Joanthan, May, Jason Kull bumping in the studio.
Hello.
Bringing it back with a little Wayne. It's time for us to do the 2022 Candy Bracket. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for us to do the Candy Bracket. So,
you know what? Real quick.
What do you got?
You just played Lil Wayne coming in.
Yes, I did.
Another guy that lost his mind after meeting Trump.
Did he lose his? I mean, he seems to stay a little bit more to himself.
That man said
though.
Racism doesn't exist.
Yeah,
but he stays to himself.
He did some goofy things.
You're right.
Sure, he might say something stupid, but I think he's like stoned or high or whatever. And
maybe he wandered in and he didn't know where he was.
I feel like every time Lil Wayne hits the news cycle and goes viral for something he says, it's literally, I'm just sipping on syrup and I said some stuff while I was hanging out after coming back from the local shop. And so somebody caught that at TMZ and now I'm screwed. Like, that's how I feel that works out for Lil Wayne.
I think you're right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to break down the 2022 candies that we think are going to end up being the best candy to get this year. Now, we've done this before. It's been a few years since we've done it. But I've got a really nice cachet, I would say, of quality top-level candies. We know that they have fun sizes of, I would say, almost all of these. There's not a candy on this list that none of us have either had or heard of or seen. Okay? There is a couple that are missing that I feel like, is there any Halloween candy that you like that most people hate? Is there anything that they like that you hate because, or vice versa? Because I like those the black and orange wrapper peanut butter.
Oh, yeah.
I love those things. The just peanut butter like chunks or whatever. They come in
like
the orange and the black. It's like a
Tootsie
Tootsie Roll. But I love them.
But it's in an solid orange wrapper or a solid black wrapper.
Yeah. I love those things.
That's true.
They're delicious.
That little wax wrapper type thing.
Yeah, it's a wax wrapper.
It's like a
Okay.
Those things are disgusting.
Exactly. See, it's disgusting. I like them.
you?
Is there a candy that you like that other people go, man, I'm not so much a big fan of, or you can always find it? I had a friend who was into Necco wafers when I was a kid. He loved Necco wafers.
I've never known.
What is a Necco wafer?
No, it's basically
like
a large
Smartie
or
but not
sweet tart.
good.
But it was like more like dull flavored.
It's like
it was like almost like
grandma
a powder flavor.
Yeah.
It was really
it's like
weird.
something your grandma has.
Yeah.
Even like a lighter flavored Smartie, but like a lot bigger. Like, and they were called Necco wafers. You can still find them. I'm sure you can find them at the Cracker Barrel store because it seems like when I walk into Cracker Barrel, every old candy that has ever existed is at that store or a bottle of soda or
Some
whatever.
lady like hand them out. Would you like a Necco wafer, Sonny?
For real. All right, let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. First round, we've got the famous Reese's Peanut Butter Cup going up against the famous Reese's Pieces. That's right, the little Reese's Pieces
mean.
M&M. I know it's mean. This is going to be a tough one.
Easy, man. It's just the cup.
I feel like it's the cup, too. I'm going to vote for the cup.
Pieces taste completely
Are
different.
you going for the Pieces?
It doesn't matter now, but I was.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Something's wrong with you, Jason. You need to see a doctor.
No, they're so
Who
good.
picks a
And they're-
piece of
because
a Reese's?
They're more portable.
You picked a piece of a Reese's over a
go,
Reese's.
Okay.
Like,
Go walk down the hallway.
What is he doing?
Go walk down the hallway of the studio with a cup in your hand and then the other hand have a few pieces. You're going to be able to eat the pieces by the time you get back.
They're gonna be melted by the time you get back. It's not like
pieces,
M&M.
not all the way.
Do you see how this is going to divide America, ladies and gentlemen? Like a Herschel Walker comment and abortion.
Well, I had no idea Jonathan was a monster.
Way to go, little John.
You disgust me.
Little John Wayne. Okay, next up, Three Musketeers is going to take on Twix. No, that's a tough one. I love Three Musketeers, but Twix, I feel like it's an edge out. I feel like Twix edges it out. I like the caramel. I like the cookie, the wafer. Like, yeah, I'm down with the Twix a little more than the Three Musketeers. That's just all chocolate nougat.
Yeah.
Three Musketeers was my grandma's favorite candy bar.
It's not bad. I like Three Musketeers. I'm just going to go Twix.
Yeah,
Three Musketeer.
I'm going Twix. Because
You're going Twix too?
I
You're
eat
going Three
more
Musketeers?
Yeah, I'm going Three Musketeer.
All right.
You know, Twix make a white chocolate Twix.
Well, Twix wins.
good.
Smaller too.
Twix wins. Way to be black
Have you seen
there.
a white Twix by a black Twix? It's
That's-
real small.
Twix black.
Twix black. You have the
Black.
left and right, and they have a black
Black.
one. It's a gigantic Twix.
Everything is just black now. All right, Kit Kat versus Butterfinger. Ooh, that's a tough one too. I go with Butterfinger. I like the flavor of a Butterfinger a little bit more. I like Kit Kats; they're fine.
You can always tell if
but if I have a
someone-
choice, I'm taking Butterfinger.
If someone's had their Butterfinger too long and you open up, you can tell because it falls apart.
Right.
That's true. Or you'll always get the one off of the shelf that has been just destroyed
Right, it's
somehow
all
when they
pulverized.
were like put in the box or something, and there's 50 of
Stick
them
that
like
thing
that.
in ice cream.
Where are you at, Jonathan?
I'm going Kit Kat because I like wafers.
All right, and where are you at?
I'm going Kit Kat. Too,
Okay,
yeah.
so Kit Kat beats out. Oh, I feel like that's
Butterfinger is good.
I really do feel like Butterfinger losing in the first round. That's kind of.
They should bring back the Bart
I
Simpson
feel like it's
Butterfinger
nougat that went bad. It's just hard. It's what you're eating.
I feel
What
like
is a Butterfinger?
well, hold on, because we have other ones that are going to come up like right now. I think this is just Three Musketeers done better. That's why I like it better. But M&M's versus Milky Way.
Are we talking about a regular M&M? We talking about peanut?
Regular M&M's. Regular M&M's versus Milky Way. Now, I will be willing to allow M&M's to also represent peanut M&M's if you want. Like, I don't have a problem with that.
I'm going peanut M&M. That thing
Okay.
is ridiculous. That's better than Reese's Pieces.
Peanut M&M's for him. Where are you at? M&M's or a Milky Way? I prefer a Milky Way. Like, I'm not against M&M's. If I was going to choose one, it's going to be a peanut M&M. That's where I like to lay too.
I'm
So,
usually
like, I'm
choose
cool with
Milky
that.
Way.
If we're able
But
to,
Milky Way is where I'm going to go on this competition.
if we're able to change the M&M to fit our needs, then yeah, I'll go M&M because peanut or even peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut butter M&Ms.
Milky
Okay,
Ways,
amazing.
there's a lot of candy bars that are similar to Milky
Mark
Ways.
just
No.
he likes the caramel stream coming from his mouth and he bites into it in slow motion.
Listen, if I can do that, I'll just take caramel M&Ms, and I like them just
Whoa,
as much.
those
Like,
have you ever frozen?
They're fire.
You put them in the freezer.
Listen.
Oh my- it's
the minute I
ridiculous.
mention my version of M&M, everybody's like, "Oh my god, that's the best."
That's our good.
I didn't say it was
Oh,
the
my-
best. I said they were good.
I forgot about
Snickers, Milky Way with peanuts and nougat and caramel, done better,
Right.
or Baby Ruth.
Snickers.
Gosh darn it, man, that is a really tough one for me. What about you, Jay?
You would have voted Three Musketeers if
I'm
you
gonna-
don't vote for Babe Ruth.
I'm gonna go.
I mean, I do like Baby Ruths a lot, and I prefer a Baby Ruth. But see, it's really tight between Baby Ruth and Snickers. I'll go either way anytime.
Wait, what?
I'll go either way. Capture that audio.
Eat a Snickers.
Capture that audio.
You become
Cap-
super slutty when you're hungry.
Capture that audio, ladies and gentlemen. We need to hear that audio. Yeah, capture that audio. Okay, I will go Baby Ruth in this one. Snickers for you, Baby Ruth for me. Where you at, Jay? You're tiebreaker again.
I'll go Snickers because you can get nuts in there too.
Okay.
Wait, what is wrong with you? What
It
did you
goes
just
both
say?
ways in. You can get nuts
You
in
can
there.
get
There
some
you
nuts.
go. This
problem,
is going to be an easy one for me. This is going to be an easy one for me. Almond Joy with coconut in it
You throw it away.
versus $100 grand.
$100,000 all day.
$100 grand. all
Under
day.
grand. All you had to say was almond joy. The other thing could have been
Who eats
toilet.
coconut.
This one's going to be tough. This one's going to be tough. Milk Duds or Junior Mints?
Junior Mints. That's
I
not
can
tough.
go either way.
tough-ish.
It's tough-ish. I'm going to go probably Junior Mints
I'm
myself.
going Junior Mints too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
it's refreshing.
It's good.
How can
It's-
you
it's
not want
freaking
one?
delicious.
And it's part of a.
It's like
classic
sweet
Seinfeld
wasabi.
episode.
For many years, the only place I ever got Junior Mints was at the movie theater.
That's true.
It's the only
Right.
place I really ever saw them being sold all the time.
Big box, too.
So I'd get a box of Junior Mints and watch movies. There's a little nostalgic touch there for
Yeah,
me on
that's
that.
true.
All right. This could be difficult. This is Hershey's Cookies and Cream chocolate bar, like a Hershey's Cookies and Cream bar.
I know what you're talking about.
Versus a regular old chocolate Hershey bar. Straight up Hershey bar.
I'm going the straight up Hershey bar.
I'm going straight up Hershey bar
cookies
myself.
and cream is nasty.
The
I don't
cookies
know
and
what they
cream
did.
Hershey Kisses are really good, though.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, the little ones.
All right, next one. Here we go. We're into the second bracket. Woo-woo. Here we go. Sour Patch Kids versus Warheads.
Ooh, Sour Patch Kids. A warhead will split your tongue in two. Nah, you being fool to pick them warheads.
Isn't a Warhead's the one with like the
I'm going Sour
powder
Patch
in the
Kids
middle
too.
that like bubbles up?
It's got
No,
powder
no, it's
around
just sour. It's a sour
It's
candy.
got
like
sour
sour
around it,
gel-
and
like
then
sour-
when you go into it, man, it's crazy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah,
tough. They're tough. But I think that if we were like 12 years old, totally different way we view this. Like we're not like Sour Patch Kids are fine, but like Warheads are like, wow, I can get through that. That's like a challenge.
Hey, I'll give you a theater tip next time you go to the movie. You get Sour Patch Kids and popcorn, eat them at the same time.
They're fantastic with M&Ms in it also. Good job. Next up, Sour Patch Kids wins. Next up, Twizzlers or Hot Tamales, which is basically Mike and Ike's but cinnamon version.
Yeah.
Hot Tamales or Twizzlers? I'm going Twizzlers. I like Twizzlers.
I love them hot tamales, though, man. I love Twizzlers.
Hot Tamales ain't bad. I'm just saying I got Twizzlers. That's where I'm at.
If I go Twizzlers, I go Twizzlers.
Between
I like
these
the
two,
nibs.
I got to go Twizzlers.
I like the nibs. Have you had the Twizzlers nibs? Just the
Oh,
small,
yeah, yeah.
those are
The
amazing.
nibs
yeah.
are fine.
Yeah.
Nibs are fantastic. So Twizzlers?
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, Twizzlers are okay. Actually, if I'm going to eat licorice, it's going to be that Wallaby stuff, that Australian licorice.
I don't
Okay.
know what
That's
that
good
is.
stuff. Oh, it's good.
I don't like red stripes or red ropes or whatever they call those.
Yeah, where they
Like,
peel apart. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. No, I don't mind that. I'm talking about that other brand, not
Oh,
Twizzlers.
okay, I
It's
like
called Red Ropes
Yeah, I
or
know
whatever.
what
Like
you're talking
I
about.
don't know what it is. All right, this one could be. It's just this one's going to be dependent on who you are as a person. Nerds or dots. Dots are basically just a little jelly candy.
I know my candy.
That's a
Dots.
That's another
I
one
said
that
all
they
these
put
were easy.
together.
Dots.
Because as a kid, I really liked Nerds, but Dots went hands
I
down.
prefer Nerds to dots. I like dots; they're fine. I just prefer Nerds. You're going dots. You're going dots. Dots wins.
There's just too much going on. with the
Okay.
chew.
I just like the variety of flavors. Skittles,
Oh, there you go.
Jonathan May's favorite.
Wild berry.
Way.
Wild berry.
But this is regular Skittles, straight up Skittles, regular Skittles.
No
we're not
wild.
doing wild. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to just straight up what it is.
Yeah, we're
can't do
going
wild
to
berry.
quit doing that now.
Well, no, because Skittles is kind of like M&M's
Yeah.
is like just chocolate mixed with a bunch of different options, right?
Yeah.
Skittles has its specific. This is the original Skittles with these
And there's
flavors.
already like
What
5
is wild
flavors in
berry?
it.
So Skittles or Starburst?
I'm going Star. Wait a minute. It's just regular Starburst, or can I get the tropical pack?
Nope, it's
Can I-
regular
is it
Starburst
red?
versus regular Skittles.
Favorites?
Even if it was tropical Skittles versus tropical Starburst, I don't know where you or wild berry versus tropical Starburst. Like I don't think that's going to make it any easier.
I'm gonna go to Skittles. I'm gonna go Skittles because Starburst always get.
I like Starburst.
I'm gonna go
I like
Skittles.
Skittles.
I do like
I'm gonna go
Starburst.
Skittles.
You know what's good with
I'm going with
Skittles?
Starburst.
Take orange Skittles and put them in chocolate.
What? Why would
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
What is wrong with y'all?
No, try things.
that.
Try things.
No, I'm not trying that.
Try things.
Come
For
on,
once in
Jonathan.
your life.
Come on, Jonathan.
Put it
try
in.
something.
What?
Don't be Herschel
eat
Walker.
It with like a
Try
Hershey
things.
bar or something. What are you
No,
talking
no,
about?
like pieces of chocolate or something.
Jonathan.
Like a piece of a Hershey bar?
Jason.
What are you
Yeah,
talking?
maybe, but broken up. Small.
Jason, what was your choice? Starburst or Skittles?
I went Starburst because I
All right,
I like
so
the fruit
Starburst
too.
wins.
In chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Ooh, it's so good.
You got to try it, man. I'm telling you, you got to try some of these things. Airheads or Laffy Taffies?
Oh, Laffy Taffy. Come on
Yeah,
now.
Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, Laffy Taffy.
Come on, you get a
Laffy
joke,
Taffy
and you get a
is.
chew on that.
But do you remember before we had the Laffy Taffy that we have today, which makes all the taffy brands? There used to be the old Willy Wonka Laffy
Yeah.
Taffy version, and then there was Laffy.
Then there was
Taffy.
Laffy Taffy. Yeah.
I love the old Willy Wonka version.
That's when they came like bricks. They were
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big.
the
you
big
remember?
long,
Yeah.
thick,
Foot and a half
yeah.
long.
Yep.
Yep. Smarties. This is going to be interesting. Smarties. This literally depends on your childhood. Smarties or candy corn.
That doesn't depend on your childhood. It
Basic
depends
candy
on
corn.
being a decent human being. Smarties. Who in the world is going?
Well, my son likes both Smarties and candy corn, but like he likes candy corn.
I
I
like-
don't mind
would you
candy
pick that
corn.
I like the candy corn that you have now, where they have like
or the little
Starburst
pumpkins,
candy
the little
corn.
pumpkins that are all
Those
candy
little
corn.
pumpkins are good, but like they have so many different flavors.
Did you all
of
know it's a
candy corn
scientific
now.
fact that you could actually just go buy a candle for cheaper and eat it because it's the same thing? Are you serious? What is wrong with y'all?
No, but
man?
they have different flavors flavored candy corn.
Where are you going, candy corn or Smarties?
Smartie. Candy corn is disgusting by itself. I mean, like if it's just regular candy corn, like Brock's candy corn, that's gross.
All right, two last ones. Blow Pop or a Tootsie Pop?
Tootsie Pop's classic, but Blow Pops are so good.
Blow Pop's got better flavor, I
Right?
think. Too.
You got the gum in it,
but
too,
once
right?
You have gum,
but
yeah.
once you chew into the Tootsie Roll, I love the way that the Tootsie Roll mixes with the orange or the cherry or the whatever. Like, I might go Tootsie Pop on this one.
That orange makes sense with the chocolate now. With
It's
the,
so
with
good.
the
There it
Tootsie Pop.
is.
That actually
see?
makes a little sense.
White
man.
people know stuff.
No, not too much, and especially not around here. I'm still not trying it. I said it kind of makes a little
You know
sense.
what I actually do? I put
Blow
it
Pop
in-
or Tootsie Pop, so we can do
Blow
this
Pop.
one. Blow Pop for you. I'm going Tootsie Pop.
I'll go Blow Pop because I had more of those as a kid.
Right.
Because you could get two.
Okay. And finally, and I know this is weird one, but we get it every Halloween. They'll throw the pack of Sun-Made raisins into your basket just because the Grandma Maud can't get
Reach in
past
and
it.
chuck that thing right back.
1963 Halloween, or those little strawberry. The like they're almost like a Jolly Rancher, but they're in a strawberry
Yeah,
wrapper.
It looks like
Yeah.
strawberry.
Yeah.
It's green on the outside.
Yeah,
I mean, on the
it's got
wrapper
the
part,
red
yeah.
and the green top
I'm
on
going
it.
with the strawberry ones.
I'm going strawberry too. I think
Yeah,
that's
those are way
a good
better.
idea. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're going to do here on the John Beal Q Show. We're going to take a quick break with myself, Joanthan, and Jason. When we come back, we're going to finish off this candy competition. We'll be back on the Q after this.
I don't wanna dance with a maniac. 'Cause the moment we touch, it's a heart attack. You know I love you, honey, but you got me running. Yeah, I could give you a damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Q. Mark Bland, Jason Kull, and Joanthan May. Some brand new Macklemore that just came out. Take a listen for me.
I fell in love with their moonwalk, dancing in the kitchen in their tube socks. I should have saw the signs, but refused, dog. How am I supposed to ever move on? Why is it so complicated? You said that you didn't love me, said you working on yourself. You ain't been to therapy since 2020. Something isn't right. See it in your
Oh,
eyes.
yeah.
Always give advice. Never
I like
take it
Macklemore, man.
Say goodnight.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good.
Good stuff.
He's never had a bad song to me.
I think if there is one person in current music right now, we were talking earlier in the show about people that do political stuff or go down that road. You know, Macklemore famously did the song praising homosexual gay lifestyle a few years ago with the one guy that he had with the orchestra and all that behind it. It was a great song, fantastic song. And it was in like the top 20 on Billboard and everything like that. He always goes for it, but he also puts on a great show. We were talking about like Lenny Kravitz earlier and stuff. If you ever watch his music videos, they're easy to get into. The songs are easy to get into. Like, I like that about an artist. That's where Bruno Mars, we were talking about Bruno Mars on the last show. I like Bruno Mars, not necessarily what we were discussing on that aspect, but like his songs, they're really easy to get into. It's fun. The stuff he just did with Anderson .Paak was good. Like, they've got
He
good
got a song with Anderson .Paak. I didn't know that.
Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak.
I thought you
have
said Mac. I thought you were talking about old boy. I'm like, what did that happen?
I don't know. The things that some of these guys do on the independent scene before they become famous, yeah, it's very possible they might end up doing something together and you just didn't even know about it. It's very possible.
He got bankers. I like that thrift shop and that downtown. He got some great bankers.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to get back into this candy game. We got to figure out who's a championship here. We are into the second round. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup versus a Twix. I got to go Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. I'm going to take a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup over a Twix every time. You could have them both out of the wrapper and ready to hold it.
I'm going with Twix. I mean, no, you said Twix?
Twix or Reese's?
Oh, Reese's, yeah.
Reese's Peanut Butter
Yeah,
Cup.
Reese's.
I'm
Yeah.
going Reese's.
You can get a peanut butter Twix, but
Yeah, sure.
we're not doing that anymore.
Well, no, this is just regular.
Yeah, Reese's
Twix.
wins. Yeah, Twix is good though.
Regular Kit Kat. I know there's 50 versions. Right? I've even had a Kit Kat from Japan that's green colored.
Nice.
Like as
Was it
green as
supposed to
my
be?
screen. Oh yeah. That's how they make them, and it's supposed to be like a certain type of grass flavor or whatever that's very popular over there in some of their. Wasn't bad.
You
it
ate
just
it?
tasted. Yeah, it just tastes like chocolate.
You ate?
Green colored chocolate. That's all it tastes like. To
I wish
me.
they could see my face that I'm giving you right now.
And you know the chocolate, the way that like when you go to the Mexican resort and you want some ice cream, it doesn't taste like American chocolate ice cream. It tastes like that foreign version of cocoa. That idea. That's what it tastes like. So, Kit Kat versus M&M.
Eminem.
I'm going Kit Kat on that one.
Yeah, Kit Kat.
I'm going Kit Kat on that one. I can't.
Oh, yeah, just gonna gang up on me now. Is this
Well,
what
we're
this
not,
is?
We're not. We're not.
This what's
we're
going
not
down?
changing. We're not changing.
Well,
to
you're
different
just
kinds.
refused to stop being black. So
we
what
gonna
are
get the
we
favorite
supposed to do
white
about
candy out here
that?
today. Is that what it is? Did y'all
Maybe you
planned
should
this
stop
before the
being-
show?
There's
Stop
plenty of black
But y'all got a
people that
secret
enjoy
text
Kit
message
Kat.
thread. Oh, we gonna get them today.
Oh yeah, why don't you stop being black over there, Elon
look-
May?
look at you.
Elon May.
I'm
All
Eli
right.
made now.
All right,
White
Snickers.
candy.
Snickers versus $100 grand.
100 grand. It's way better.
I'm going Snickers.
What?
I like.
Jason, if you say it, I swear to
but
God.
the $100 grand, they throw
If you
pretzels in,
say
and
it,
I'm not
Jason,
cool on
I'm
that.
getting out of here.
100 grand.
Or is that the one that's like Rice Krispie treats?
Yeah,
inside of it?
yeah. It's yeah.
No, it's got a
just-
pretzel inside of it.
Is it
Not a
pretzel
raccoon.
or
Yeah,
is
it's
it
got
the-
a bunch of.
It's got a
rice in
pretzel,
it.
or is it
It's
got the rice
It's
candy?
chocolate covered rice.
I'm not sure anymore. We have
mean,
to
there
go
might
buy
be,
one.
That's
like,
a
there might-
whatchamacallit. The 100 grand has. I'm the one that likes it. It has a pretzel in it.
Okay, I don't want it with the pretzel. I like Snickers. Snickers for me. Where are you at?
I like Snickers too.
All right, so
I don't like the way y'all
Snickers
say Snickers around here, bro. I'm telling you what. One of them
I
S's
was
drop.
hoping that Snickers
We
wouldn't
throw-
win.
Better
'cause
pronounce those letters.
we
The
throw-
syllables.
throw a hard R on the end of that
I-
Snickers.
I didn't want to have to keep saying the word
Better-
Snickers.
Y'all better hit them
Hey,
syllables.
why you got to be so mad at Snickers?
You
over
better,
there, huh?
you better hit them syllables.
Yeah, Snickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Why we always got to let the Snickers into the studio with us? I don't understand
The
it.
joke's about done. I'm telling you right now.
Junior Mint.
There you go. There you go.
Junior Mint, like Joanthan over here. Junior Mint versus a regular Hershey bar. That's tough because I can do things with a Hershey bar. I
said
can be like,
Junior
I can
Mint.
make a s'more with that Hershey bar. I can do a lot of things.
This
man.
Junior man. Kids not going trick or treating and taking. Oh, let me just make a s'more out of it when I get home. Just eating the candy, bro. what are
Dude,
you
the
talking about?
4-year-old kid just wants candy in his mouth. They don't care how he gets it.
Junior
Gotta make
Mints.
this into a s'more.
All right, Junior Mints are moving
Yeah,
on
Junior
there
Mints win that.
with my initials. Sour Patch Kid or a Twizzler? I'm going Sour Patch
I'm
Kid.
going Twizzler. I feel like I'm too.
My God,
That-
why are you opposite
That
everything?
decision, you have to be a little bit grown on that decision. Like, yeah.
I'm not against that idea of the
Twizzler's grown.
Twizzler, but I just like the
You
Sour
ever seen a
Patch
commercial
Kid
with a
better.
grown man eating a Sour Patch Kid? Like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
You said, listen. You said go to the movie theater, throw them into the popcorn. I said add the M&Ms.
I said in the commercial.
If you are at home after you just got done trick or treating, take a little bit of Sour Patch Kids with all that, like, it's like a salty kind of vibe to
The
it.
sourness of the
and
patch.
add that to the regular M&Ms, and I'm telling you, it's fire.
That's literally what 100 grand is. It's got the salt with the pretzel and the chocolate.
Yes, we
and
get
it's
this.
fire. This is literally the same thing.
Okay, Sour
You're
Patch.
voting against yourself.
Sour Patch Kid for me. Where you at, Jay?
I'm going Twizzlers. I don't
Okay.
like Sour Patch Kids.
Twizzlers, move on. That's okay. That's the whole point of doing this. Dots versus Starburst. Starburst. I don't even want to hold up.
tough.
No, I'm going Starburst straight up.
Dots doesn't have one bad flavor in the pack.
That's true.
Starburst does. I'm
But
going with
the
Dots.
problem with the Dots is that, like you said earlier,
stick
and
to
like
your
we said
teeth.
with the Necco wafer, it's almost a light flavoring of each one, and they almost taste close to the same once you just start chewing on them.
They do stick.
You
I
can still put me
don't
down for Dots.
I'm
going Starburst.
I'm going Dots.
Yeah, get out of here, Mark. Yeesh.
Starburst are good.
Airheads. I'm sorry. Laffy Taffy. Laffy Taffy versus Smarties.
Laffy Taffy.
LT.
That Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, I mean, that one was easier.
Laffy Taffy was a lot easier. I feel like it was. Blow Pop versus the strawberry candy.
I'm going that strawberry candy because sometimes you mess around getting one of them strawberry candies with the strawberry filling in the middle.
Oh,
of
they're
it.
good.
Yeah, it's like, yo, this is
true.
crazy.
That's them. That's the ones with the strawberry filling in the middle. Yeah.
All of them didn't have it because you would get some of it was just straight hard candy, but some of them had that filling in the middle. Like, oh man, this is crazy.
You think it's gonna be hard candy, and all of a sudden you just bite on a little
Here's
bit.
my
busts,
problem.
it busts in your mouth.
Squishes right away.
Here's
It
my
busts,
problem.
the flavor just
Yeah,
busts in
right
your
in my
mouth.
mouth.
Here's my problem with Blow Pop. I get cherry, I get raspberry, I get a lot of different options that I can
Because that's how it comes. Yeah,
because
he's right.
so I'm going to go Blow Pop.
I'm going Blow Pop as well.
All right,
You-
Blow Pops, move on. Okay,
Why am I even voting?
we're in the grade 8, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is: Reese's Cup versus a Kit Kat.
Reese's.
Reese's for me.
Yeah, Reese's.
Okay, Reese's
Oh,
Cup is
now you
moving
guys
on.
starting to see the light.
Well, Kit Kats are good. but
Everybody
Reese's,
sees the light.
Reese's is peanut butter.
It's why they have commercials nobody else does, except for Skittles. Snickers versus Junior Mints.
Junior Mints.
I like a Snick. Oh, but I love mint.
Yeah, they don't make a mint.
That's a tough one, man.
Junior Mint.
Not everybody likes mint, though. See, that's the funny thing. I know with Snickers, there's a lot of people that get into Snickers. I can't say that for mint flavor.
I'm going Snickers.
Yes.
I have a showdown I can feel coming in my mind.
Oh my God. Junior Mint should have won that hands down.
Although, like I said, Junior Mints has its place in pop culture.
I don't know. You know what? I'm going to go Junior Mint.
Ouch.
Ooh.
I'm going Junior Mints over the
we got a mind
Snickers.
changer.
I know.
I didn't change my mind. I never said what I did.
You
can
did say.
No, you can rewind it. You can listen.
I don't need to rewind it.
Yeah, you can. So
Why-
that you can
why
see
do I
that
want
you're-
to?
Because you're wrong.
There you
thought
go
he was
again.
leaning
Ask me
into it.
questions, and I
Because you're
tell
just
you I
wrong.
don't want to, and you're like, no, well, you should.
But that's fine. We're better off that,
He's just
that
wrong.
that's out of the game.
He's just wrong. Twizzlers versus Dots.
I'm going Twizzlers.
I'm going Twizzlers too.
I'm Dots.
He's Dots.
You didn't vote for Dots the last time.
He
You
did.
flip
Yes, I
flop.
did. No, I did.
He got Dots with me last time, and you hated it, and then you yelled at us for
I
being
voted
white.
Dots last time.
You said we were white.
We were pretty, yeah, I don't think he did that.
This is
Laffy Taffy.
I'm bringing-
It was Dots versus Starburst.
I'm
Dude,
bringing
don't try to
Tuffy with me
argue with
next
me
time.
on this. I know what I said. I said Starburst. You both said Dots. It was a white person thing. Got it. Laffy Taffy versus Blow Pop. Interesting. I feel that's a guaranteed win for Laffy
Laffy
Taffy.
Taffy.
That's like, yeah.
Laffy Taffy.
All right.
Blow Pop's
I see the
Cinderella
I see
ran
the
out.
championship coming up is what I see. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup or a Junior Mint. Joanthan,
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup or a Junior Mint? I'm going to go to Reese's.
you're going to go over Junior Mint.
Yep.
Are you sure? Snickers wasn't
I
good
said
enough.
what I said. What is going on right here? Am I sure? What,
Are you sure
it's
you wanna do that?
candy.
Hershey bar wasn't good enough.
Right?
Yeah,
Keep going.
act like I got my finger on the button for the nuclear bomb. Are you sure about? No, it's candy, bro. Yeah, I know what I said. Give me the Reese's.
Yeah, a bunch of young kids making s'mores
Right.
on Halloween night.
What about you, Jason? Reese's or Junior Mint?
Reese's.
It is the Reese's
Yeah.
Cup. I have to admit, there's no way that I could not go with the Reese's Cup. Twizzlers or Laffy Taffy? I'm going to say Laffy
Laffy
Taffy.
Taffy.
I'm going to say
Yeah,
Laffy
I-
Taffy.
I can't believe Twizzlers.
Hey,
made
when
it
we
that
get
far.
down to it, we ought to say the answer at the same time.
All right.
Just to see what's going on.
All right.
All
If you
right,
want to
here
do
we
that,
go.
here's what we'll do. We're down to Reese's Peanut Butter Cup versus Laffy Taffy. And all you got to do is I'll count down to 3. And after 3, just say your answer out loud and we'll discuss it after that. You ready?
Right.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
Laffy
Reese's Cup.
Taffy. You racist.
Ow, we
SOBs.
got you.
Oh my God.
got you.
Playing all alone? Oh my God.
You thought you could
I didn't
slide into
go with
town on that
Reese's
bus,
over
but you
Laffy
got
Taffy.
caught.
Wow.
First off, I would listen. Like I said,
Wow.
you could have a Laffy Taffy unwrapped, even my favorite one. And if you hand me that or a Reese's Cup,
I'm eating the Reese's.
I'm eating a Reese's Cup, and I got diabetes, so I like
That's true.
sugar. I love sugar, so I am
It's hard-
literally
you know what,
tied
though?
in to that.
Peanut butter and chocolate probably has less sugar than what that piece of Laffy Taffy.
It's possible. I don't know, but I can tell you this:
Nobody cares. Nobody ever looked
He
at the
might
back
care.
of a Laffy Taffy or Reese's.
the
Like,
winner-
too much sugar.
The winner of this tournament of pop culture, which is the 2022 Halloween Candy Champion, is Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, not Joanthan May's Laffy Taffy, as he tried to suck her in there like some Herschel
It was close
Walker.
though.
Can't
I
believe
like me
that.
some Laffy Taffy.
Why couldn't you just leave the debate before we started it and just
Yeah.
not be here?
There was no point in me being next. I'm coming next time I come back. I'm bringing Tuffy. This is gonna be 2 black people and you, and we gonna do another one.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tear you up in that
He's
thing.
gonna-
We'll do
Reese's.
favorite black characters in the Goodfellas Blacked edition.
That's
That's
gonna be great.
what we'll do.
We did come up with some good ideas on the break. Great
All right, I
idea.
got something for you guys right before we get out of here. Just a little fun. By the way, don't forget, MMWA Professional Wrestling has a show tonight. That is right. Nightmare on 7th Street on Broadway, downtown, South Broadway Athletic Club. Proudly presents Nightmare on 7th Street. Make sure you guys get down there. Show starts at 7 p.m. We have a coffin match, the Brotherhood versus Benjamin Trust, and somebody's going into a coffin. I don't know if Joanthan, we should put you up in the ring and throw you into a coffin. I think that'd be fun.
I'm not getting a spandex and wrestling some.
You're not going to get in spandex and wrestle
Yeah.
somebody, huh?
Yeah, you should do
I don't. I just don't have the urge to.
And I'm really sorry we couldn't get Anthony Castaldi, the head promoter of MMWA, on tonight. We'll try to get him on a future show. We also got Ashlyn Alexander that I want to get on the show. She's the MMWA Women's Champion. Brand new, first time in many years, since like 09.
Whoop whoop.
So she did that. Real quick before we get out of here, some either ors. Right? Kind of like what we've been doing with the candy, but this is movies. Some Halloween movies. You ready? Here we go. Poltergeist or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
Texas Chainsaw
Poltergeist
Massacre
is
for me,
rated
too.
PG.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong.
But it's got
when
its
you're
spooky
8 years
stuff.
old and
Oh,
you
that was
watch
scary.
Poltergeist, it was a pretty freaky little movie, especially with
Right?
the scene with the
chicken and
no,
the
with
maggots
when the storm happens at the end and all the coffins were coming up and the
Flying up.
yeah,
Skeletons
the skeletons
coming
are
out the
yeah,
water.
it was,
Coming out of the one in
crazy.
the pool. Like, "Bleh."
All right, this could be a tough one. This could be a tough one. Depends on where you're at in life. Lost Boys or Evil Dead.
Ooh.
The Lost Boys or the Evil Dead.
Why would you put those two against each other?
If it was-
Because it's supposed to be tough, man.
If it was
This is
evil,
what listen. This is why black people haven't prospered in culture the way they need to. Tough decisions. White people are constantly dealing with tough decisions. sir.
That made absolutely no sense.
Whatever.
Yeah, look at you.
Lost Boys or Evil Dead.
if it was Evil Dead 2,
on
it
Lost
would
Boys.
be it would be easier.
I've been on Lost Boys.
Do you
just
think
'cause
it
it's
would
a
be
classic.
with Evil Dead 2 versus Lost Boys?
Because Evil Dead 2, you got that. It's just so funny.
It's still Lost Boys.
I mean, it's Lost Boys.
It's Lost Boys.
Well, I mean, Lost Boys wins. But
It's a pop culture
it's easier.
iconic movie. I mean, not that Evil Dead isn't. I'm just saying Lost Boys really
It's Lost Boys.
grab the vibe of the 80s. If you're looking for a movie other than Back to the Future that literally grabs the vibe of the 80s and the look and the way we dressed and the attitude, go watch Lost Boys. Like, that is literally a boardwalk in LA in 1988 in every movie we ever saw.
I was listening to that soundtrack the other day.
Oh, that's a great soundtrack.
is.
Fantastic. That and The Crow. The Crow had a good soundtrack too.
Yeah, the Crow's probably
Halloween, the movie Halloween, or The Exorcist.
Exorcist.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Exorcist too.
Exorcist, yeah.
I got to go Exorcist on that one. I like Halloween, but Exorcist
good,
is.
but-
Well, we also got the
Horror
St.
movies
Louis
based in
connection
reality,
to The
yeah.
Exorcist.
Yeah. And it's
dude.
supposed to be based in reality, so those are the best horror movies.
They are. Did The Exorcist scare you?
No.
The first time you saw it, how old were you?
I can't remember.
Probably a kid, right?
The movie that scared me the most when I was a kid that was a horror movie was The Entity with Barbara Hershey.
You know what? I have not seen The Entity, and it's a movie I've been meaning to see.
You've never
but
watched it?
I've never
It's
watched
the reason
it.
I can't close my eyes in the shower. That thing was something else.
The Shining or The Babadook?
The Shining. I hated The Babadook.
Yeah, The
I
Shining.
felt like I wasted an hour and a half of my life watching that movie.
All right, Shining wins there too. Nightmare on Elm Street or Scream?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'm going Scream. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. And I love Freddy, but Scream, I love the story. Like, it's got a great vibe to that story. It's well done. It's well told. It's well acted. It's got a great vibe to it. Like, I really think Scream's a solid horror movie.
Scream
And I'm
never-
talking about the mid-90s.
Scream never produced a Johnny Depp.
That is true.
He
He was in some other stuff.
Wait a
right around there,
second.
too.
Scream did give us, what's her name?
Neve
Johnny
Campbell.
Depp?
Nev Campbell.
Neve Campbell.
Oh my! What has she done besides Scream? Oh,
Well,
wait
she
a minute.
did
Wild
other
Things.
Scream movies.
Oh, Wild
90s
Things. Oh, Wild Things.
But in the
What?
okay, great. So Scream
And
did-
Skeet Ulrich.
Come on.
All right, last one. This could be tough. This could be tough for Jonthan. Alien, the movie Alien, or Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. That's not
Cabin
tough.
in the Woods, great.
It's not tough. Cabin in the Woods was great.
I think I'm gonna go Cabin in the Woods too.
Especially if you've never seen Cabin
I
in the
think
Woods and you
Aliens-
listen, you don't even Google it. Just go watch it. It is an amazing movie.
Aliens, however, would win.
Shh, everybody, before we get out of here, I got to do my shh. Listen, everybody, this is very important. Cabin in the Woods wins, but Alien. It's boring. It's a boring movie. That's it. There it is.
said my
I
Alien?
had to
It's
calm
slow.
everybody down to let them know it's a boring movie.
Who, Alien?
Alien's a
Aliens
boring
is
movie.
definitely way.
Alien
more
is a
action.
boring movie. Alien drags.
Yeah.
It really does. I understand.
It's slower
And
than
I know
Aliens.
time period wise, the kind of movies they were making at the time, it was a big deal, but I'm just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to get out of here on the queue. First up, I want to thank Jason Kull and Jonthan May.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here. Make sure you check out MMWA Professional Wrestling tonight, South Broadway Athletic Club, 7 p.m. Get there. Or just don't. I don't know what you're going to do with your life if you don't. Also, don't forget John Beal Roofing. That's 1-800-JOHN BEAL, JOHNBEAL, sponsor of our show, as well as if you have any roofing issues, they're the people to call. 1-800-JOHN BEAL. That's going to do it for us on this episode of The Q. We really appreciate you guys. Check out theqnow.com, old episodes, new episodes, and everything in between. And that's going to do it for us. We'll see you guys next time on The Q.
There's no bathroom and there is no sink. The